to be one of the speakers at our TEDx University of Maryland experience that we always have every year. I think it's the fourth year now that they do it. I've been going since I was a freshman, but I've always had the dream of giving a TED Talk, but I was always like, there's nothing I can ever talk about. There's nothing I can really do, but I finally, because of this trip that I had this summer, I realized I have something to talk about. I can talk about some travel hacks, something like that. I don't know, so I just applied for it. And so they gave me an interview. And so I'm here to talk about that interview that I just went through because it was like the right thing at the right time, and it just gave me another piece of insight as to who I am. So it was really casual, but the guy who was giving it, there's two people giving the interview. One of them was just a really good question giver, and he really made me think about who I am. He really made me think about like what it is that I want to talk about. Why do I want to talk about it? Why should they have me as one of the speakers at this TED Talk? And so this is a really rough version of like what I said to them. It's a really rough version of like what I should talk about if I were to do a TED Talk. But it gave me a new insight as to like who I really am, not just like, oh, I say I'm the bow tie guy, I give hacks, that kind of thing. Like this made me realize more about like why I do what I do, why I am who I am, and that kind of thing. I know I am who I am because God created me that way, but understanding the things that go through in my mind and why I do it is like what just happened, and I just feel so great. Like I thought I knew who I was, but I'm still learning. And so one of the questions that they asked me was like, well, they asked it a bunch of different ways, and it was kind of confusing. It was a really tough, vague sort of question, but it was pretty much like, what's your perspective on your topic? And like I was telling them, oh, I'm all about travel hacks, this, that, and the other. Like I can do more with less, that kind of thing. But they kept asking me like, but what is your perspective? Like how do you bring a new perspective to this? And I think I finally was able to answer the question, but it was only because I just thought of this really rough way to kind of think about it. So this is the piece of paper that I would give out on my trip. And I had this in my pocket, and so I was like, well, why not try to use this? So the way I think about life is like, a lot of people think, oh, this is just a piece of paper. It's meant to like, you write stuff on it or hand it out to people, things like that. But in my world, the way I see it, there's so much more that can be done with this piece of paper. Like, I could rip it up into 4 pieces and make flashcards with it and study for a test. I could fold it up into something really nice, like an origami shape, and give it to somebody as a gift. I could put a bunch of these pages together and make a book. Like, there's just so much more that I can do with this piece of paper than what meets the eye. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't realize in the world is like, you buy something or you get something and like everybody says like the market tells you like this is the purpose of whatever this is, but that's not the only purpose for it. Like there's more that you can do. Everything that comes out or that's presented in the world, anything that's invented, it's made for like a primary purpose, but there's always more that you can do with it. You can figure out your own ways to do things with it. Like that's like my bow tie box. Like the box that I have, it's made out of a Macintosh book. Like this thing right here. This box right here, it's a Macintosh box, but I made more out of it than just it being a box that the computer came in. I made something for my bow ties. This wasn't something that like somebody said, oh, you can also use this to make a closet, or you can make it to use it for storage, or this, that, and the other. It's something that I realized, hey, I need something like this. How can I take this and make it into something that's useful? Like, how can I recycle, reuse, reduce? I mean, some people like to be very eco-friendly and use that catchy term, but like for me, my point is just like I realized that I see things differently. I see things like as more than what they are to the normal naked eye. And so that's why I'm all about doing more with less. I'm all about figuring all these things out, doing these things, and I used to be about doing that all for myself because I didn't really know much more about like sharing with others and about social media and stuff like that. But now I realize that like all these benefits that I get from these ideas and these awesome experiences that I have, like I want to share it with others and I want to empower others to do it too. All of this. And so if you don't know who you are yet, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you don't know what you want to do, don't worry about it. But just go out and explore. Like just look at things. Like personally, I try not to watch any more TV anymore. I try not to listening to music's good, but personally I don't really find anything interesting. I just go out and I listen to podcasts, listen to TED Talks, listen to people, I talk to people, that kind of thing. It's just do whatever it is that you can naturally do. I know not everybody can talk to people, or not everybody can go out and network or things like that, but find ways to see the world from different perspectives. Try to find something that you wouldn't normally watch or something you wouldn't normally do, and do it. I know, like, when I was a freshman, like, I'm not a computer science person, but I was like, it should be a good experience to go see what it's like to be a computer science major. So I went and took a class. Like, open yourself to new opportunities, new experiences, because when you do, you'll think more creatively. You'll be able to come up with these amazing hacks, these amazing ideas, the way I do, and the way many other people do. It's not just me. I'm not the only one who does these sort of hacks. I understand that. Like, I'm not different because I do hacks. I'm different because I want to share all this and do it and help other people do it as well. So I could go on talking for hours. I don't really know. I wouldn't have a direction. That's one of my weaknesses with my TED Talk. But I want you all to understand that you don't know who you are, and you probably will never know who you are completely. And it's a slow process, but it's rewarding every step of the way. And so you need to go out there, think creatively, be different, step out of your comfort zone. I mean, I know that's hard to do. It's much easier to say. But once you do, you'll start seeing things differently, and you'll be able to come up with ideas that are just revolutionary, innovative for this new society, this new world that people my age are going to be the ones running someday. So with that being said, I'm going to let you all go. If you have any questions, comments, any stories you want to share with me, I'd love to hear about how you guys learn who you are. Please comment below, send me a message. But if you post here, everybody will see it, and it'll benefit everybody. So with that being said, if you want to reach me, I'm the Bowtie Guy. Currently Bowtie Guy MD, might become Bowtie Guy Hacks, but right now just look Bowtie Guy MD on any social media and you should find me. Otherwise, Luke Macris. You can't miss that. There's only one of me doing this, I think. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you all go. See ya.